When you're looking at a mobility scooter that promises to fit in the overhead bin of a plane, it's natural to feel a little skeptical. The idea of a device that's light enough to carry, yet strong enough to take you around a grocery store, a hotel lobby, or a weekend day trip, sits between convenience and a lot of what-ifs. Will it actually fold fast enough when you're in a rush? Does the low weight mean it can't hold up to everyday use? And most importantly, does it give you enough value for the price you'll pay? Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. In this review, I'll walk through the everyday scenarios that matter most, point out the trade-offs that hide behind the sleek blue frame, and help you decide whether the EV Rider Transport AF Plus is the right fit for you or if you should keep looking. First off, let's talk about the core promise of this scooter: portability without sacrificing the basic capabilities you need for short-range travel. The Transport AF Plus weighs just 49 pounds total, which is a fraction of a typical three-wheel scooter that can tip the scales at 80+ pounds. That difference is noticeable the moment you try to lift it out of the trunk of a mid-size sedan or onto the stairs of an apartment building. The folding mechanism is automatic. You press a button, the handlebar collapses, and the deck folds down in under a minute. In my own testing, that speed mattered when I was loading it onto a train platform with a 2-minute window before the doors closed. It wasn't a smooth glide, but it was definitely manageable for someone with a moderate amount of upper body strength. Now, the Airline approved claim is more than a marketing line. The scooter's dimensions when folded fall under the standard carry-on size limits for most major carriers, and the weight is well within the 50-pound allowance for checked baggage. I've spoken with a few travelers who actually checked the Transport AF Plus on a recent flight to a conference. They reported no special handling fees, and the airline staff treated it like any other piece of luggage. That convenience can be a game-changer if you travel a lot for medical appointments or family visits. It eliminates the need to rent a wheelchair at the destination, which can add up quickly. But where the scooter shines in portability, it does make a few compromises that are worth highlighting. The weight capacity is listed at 250 pounds, which covers a large portion of users, but it's not as generous as some heavier models that push 300 pounds. If you're on the higher end of that range, you may notice a slight dip in acceleration and a marginally tighter turning radius. Speaking of turning, the scooter's design does give you a tighter radius than many bulkier alternatives, making it easier to navigate narrow aisles in grocery stores or tight corners in hotel hallways. However, that tighter radius also means the steering feels a bit more snappy, which can be disorienting for someone used to the slower, more forgiving pivot of larger scooters. Practical strength is another area where the Transport AF Plus proves its worth. The motor provides enough torque to handle slight inclines, think a typical suburban driveway or a shallow ramp at a shopping center, without the need to constantly push with your feet. I took it up a 4% grade on a city park trail. The speed dropped a few steps, but the scooter kept moving without stalling. If your daily routes are flat and you mainly need assistance for longer distances, the extra performance isn't a deal-breaker, but it does add a layer of confidence for users who might encounter occasional hills. Battery life is something buyers often ask about, especially when the scooter is marketed for travel. The Transport AF Plus comes with a lithium-ion pack that the manufacturer states can cover roughly 1,215 miles on a single charge under normal use. In real-world terms, that translates to a few trips around a small town, a full day of errands, or a short airport shuttle ride. It's not going to replace a full-size electric wheelchair for a day-long outing, but for the intended use case, short commutes, indoor navigation, and occasional outdoor excursions, the range feels adequate. Just keep in mind that cold weather will shave a few miles off that estimate, which is typical for lithium cells. Who should consider buying this scooter? If you're someone who lives in a city apartment, uses public transportation, or travels frequently and wants a mobility aid that won't dominate your luggage space, the Transport AF Plus checks a lot of boxes. It's also a good match for retirees who enjoy weekend getaways and want the freedom to explore without renting equipment at each stop. The relatively low overall weight makes it easier for a partner or family member to assist with loading and unloading, which can be a big relief if you don't have a dedicated caregiver. On the flip side, if you need a scooter for heavy daily use on uneven terrain, such as a rural property with gravel paths or a mountainous